Another project on the go. Going to try to take these used bed frames. Nice material to work with. People throw them out, same on the side of the road. I'm going to try to make this. Seen it at the Walmart Automotives. It's an A-frame ToolCart. They usually put pegboard along the edges here. Some pegboard on both sides and some trays in the middle to put your tools into. Pretty neat idea, on wheels, pushed around your shop or whatever. Happen to see it there, so I'm going to try to make one. And that's what these are going to do. See if I can cut these up, weld them together, make that cart, use some of that old galvanized steel I got for the bottoms of the trays. Let's get at it. So as you can tell, I'm doing this in bits and pieces. I'm not going to keep the video going straight. I got cut off the last one. My memory card ran out. I had to go up and dump it, and I'm back here again. Anyway, I took it apart, disassembled all the pieces, the frames. This gives me a lot of stuff to work with here now. Lots of materials, some long, some short. Next stage now, what I'm going to do is, you can see each of these got rivets that hold these ends to pieces together. So I'm just going to get my grinder out, grind the heads off of them, and they'll tap apart. So then I'll have just straight angle iron after that to work with. In the meantime, I got a whole bucket full of casters and nuts and bolts and things that I can repurpose again. I suppose that's the new word, is it? Repurpose. So I get grinding those apart, see what I got left over after that, and start putting this thing together. Most of these work the same way. How to rivet it together. I take my mini grinder, and what I usually do is I'll do a couple of straight cuts across. That'll take it down to the even part of the surface pretty quick. And then I'll finish up with just a couple of flat welds. And when that's done, you'll be able to see the imprint of it. And then you just get a hammer and a punch, and you just punch the rivets back out through. These will come apart and give you a nice clean piece of square angle iron to work with. And then once you grind it flat, give it a quick tap with the hammer or something like that. They usually separate fairly easy. Grind down those flat ends up here. Grind them down smooth, or sometimes you can tap them on out and they'll come on out through the other side. Boom, get yourself a nice piece of angle iron, clean piece of angle iron to work with. That's what I'm going to do with the rest of those. Back to you after that. Progress report. So far so good. That many pieces cleaned up and done. Just these two left to go. But as you can see, my disc is getting kind of small, so I got to change it. There's all the bits and pieces that I got to hit off there. Just tap them off with the hammer. Another problem though, before this I had to change the other disc. I've only used a disc and a half so far to do this much. So I started with a half disc, so it's only a little bit more to clean up, so it's only cost me about a disc. These discs run about 50 cents each, so it's not bad. The only thing was, I didn't have my tool here to be able to change it. My brother had a loan of it, and I got back the mini grinder, but he still got the tool. I did have this one, but that's a 4.5 inch mini grinder, and this is for a 5 inch, and it didn't fit at first. So anyway, I had to I sliced it down the middle here so far, squeezed it together with my vise, and spot welded it back together again, as you can see, and now it works. So anyway, change over the disc and finish up these, and then we can get started on the project. Okay, all done cleanup. I got 4 really nice big long pieces out of it. These 4 right here will probably determine the length of my cart, and then I can make these, weld these up to match. Lots of them. It's going to be 3 trays: the bottom tray, the middle tray, the top tray, in an A-frame configuration. So I'll make my first tray on the bottom, attach the legs to it about 4 foot high or so, maybe 5 foot. Remember, this is what we're going for. You can see it there, something like that. Not the scale, of course. Just gonna get this done up. As you can see, I do this kind of stuff in my driveway and in my garage because it's spilling down rain outside now. So just in case I get any little sharp pieces that might end up in my tire, here's my magnet. I got my welding magnet, bit of rope, I'll drag that along the ground there for a little bit now, pick up all the little stray pieces. Anyway, get going on construction. Check back in with you then.